Hi everyone and welcome to another video on the Pennies and Shillings channel. Now everybody has or at least knows someone with a bag like this. A bag full of old coins of different countries and denominations. A time capsule of sorts. Now these are always fun to go through. Even if the coins themselves are not worth that much, it's still quite a bit of fun. Oftentimes the owner only wants to know what the coins are worth, or maybe if there's a special coin hiding in the bunch, and without necessarily the need to sell them or get rid of the coins. Now that was exactly the case with these coins that I obtained from Lizzy Nobenkula. She obtained these coins from her mother, who collected them over the years, and I agreed to help her figure them out. So let's see what she has. The first step, of course, is to separate the coins by country, denomination or series, if you have that information available, or any logical grouping, just to make the identification and the evaluation of the coins so much easier. So now let's do the grouping. Okay, so there we are. Now typically when you get collections like this, quite often there's not much value. But it's still very interesting to see what people collect over the years. So let's quickly go through it and see what Lizzy's got. Okay, so first of all, she had quite a few South African coins. We've got two farthings or quarter pennies. They're in a pretty decent condition, so they're about 5 to 10 rands each. Millions of these were created. These are from the King George VI era. Then she has a few half pennies, and from these 3 half pennies, which are about 5 rand each in that condition, one of them stands out quite a bit, and that's this coin. Then it's 1952. Now typically when these coins are well worn, they're not worth much, but this one in this condition might actually fetch a bit higher. I would say around 50 rand in this condition. It might need some work around the edges. There is some dirt and grime there that can be removed with acetone very, very carefully. Again, not cleaning. Have a look at my videos on how coins are preserved. But just to get that out, because this seems to be an uncirculated coin. It has some nice toning. This might also be a candidate for grading if you're missing this coin. So yeah, there's a 50 rand coin right there. So let's keep that one a bit separate. Then there's also 2 3-pences or tikkies. And as you can see, the coins are in a fairly good condition. The one is a 1941, the other one is 1952. The 1941 contains 80% silver, so just over a gram, so 15 to 20 rand in silver. The 1952, that was reduced to 50%, so that's about, it depends on the silver price of course, but around 10 bucks I would say. But pretty decent condition, and I think in this condition, 30 to 50 rand maybe even. Especially the 1941. It's in a good condition. Definitely collectible. Then of course if you move over to the second decimal, I've got a few first decimal coins. These are the very, very common half cent. These were minted from 1961 until 1964. And as you can see, all of these coins are well worn, well used. They are, especially a coin like this, they are literally worthless. In fact, you can, I've read that somebody said that if you're missing a washer, you can actually just drill a hole in one of these and it will work out cheaper. It's sad, but there were millions of these coins minted. So the first decimal, those half cents not worth much. Then if we move to the second decimal, there's some 1 cent coins. Now the only 1 cent coin that is really worth a bit of money is of course the 1965 Afrikaans and English 1 cent. All the others has to be in a perfect condition to be worth something. So let's quickly have a look if there is 1965 over here. This is a 1986. It's not really worth much. Maybe 5 rand in this condition. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch. But if you look at the coin itself, it's in a really good condition. There's some nice toning on it as well. So even though this coin is not that valuable and there was millions minted, look at that interesting toning. I like coins like these and I tend to set them apart. Okay, so unfortunately I've gone through all of them. There's no 1965, so unfortunately that's these are only worth face value, of course, except like in this specific coin that we have found, that has some nice toning on it. That might be worth a few rands more, but all the others, I mean, that's common coins. Yeah, unfortunately, no value here. Then the second decimal 2 cents, none of them has any real value. You can very easily put together a set that's not going to cost you more than 50 or 60 rand. So, and then I'm talking about the full set and they're in good condition. So these only worth face value. Then we've got a 10-cent piece. This one is a 1988, and we've got a 20-cent piece. This is a 1989. Millions were minted. These are only worth face value. And then when we get to the rands, the first 2 rands that I found was a 1977, and a 1978. So a nice pair, 1 year, apart. These are made from nickel and they are worth face value. Maybe if you find a nice one, it might be worth a bit more, but there were millions of these minted. The exception, of course, is this 1 rand coin. This is a 1966, and all your rands up until 1976 contains 80% silver. And you'll find that it's also slightly larger than the nickel. So if I put them on top of one another, you'll see that there's a slight size difference. The silver coin in a good condition, upwards of 200 rand. In this condition, where it does show some wear, I would say it's worth around 200 rand in silver alone. So this is a nice find in a bag like this. Then there's some third decimal coins. There's a 10-cent piece which is worth 10 cents. Of course, the one that you want to have a look out for is, of course, the 2011, which is quite rare. But this one, it's a common coin, 2020. So, yeah, it's worth 10 cents. Then there is some commemorative 5 rand coins in the collection. So, these are the 2008 Mandela coin. Now, of course, a collector still wants to have a complete set of these. So for a good one, maybe up to 20 or 30 rand. But in this condition, where it does show some wear, this is only worth 5 rand. There's 3 of these. Here's another one. And another one. Here's the 2018 commemorative Mandela coin. This one is the nicer one of all of them. I really like the way in which this coin was made. Especially if this coin is in mint state, it's really a well-made, well-designed coin. Yeah, so this is the 2018 Nelson Mandela 5 rand coin. In mint state, again, 20 to 30 rand maybe. Otherwise, it's just 5 rand. That's what it's worth. There's also quite a few coins from other countries. There are 2 1-cent pieces from the United States. There we are. It's United States of America 1 cent. And interestingly about the US coins, or the 1-cent coin, is that it's known as coin struck. So in other words, if I turn the coin around, just like this, you'll see that it's upside down. Now that's known as coin struck. So if you want to turn the coin around, the idea is that you swap it like that. Turn it around like that to get the upside down picture. So it's reverse. So that's how the US coins are struck. Compare that, for example, to the South African coin. If I take this 2-cent coin, which is known as metal struck, if I rotate it on its axis like this, it's this right side up. So that's known as metal struck. Interesting. There's also some British coins. There's 2 pennies or 2 pence. in 2006, I think, and the other one is 1986. Of course, these are face value. So there they are, with Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. So we've got two of these. Then there's a 2p coin. So there you can see that. This one is from 1997. There's Queen Elizabeth II. On the obverse, a common coin. Also just worth face value. But it's interesting to find it in a collection like this. Then there's also this British 2 shilling of 1957. Pretty nice coin, in fact. Also Queen Elizabeth. This is made from a copper nickel alloy, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not worth much. Maybe 20 rand in this condition. But yeah, also a nice coin. And then another interesting coin, the last one I would have expected in this collection. This is a coin from Israel. This is a half shekel. Yeah, also pretty much worth just face value, but not a coin that you would expect in a collection like this from South Africa. But yeah, interesting. Then some coins from other African countries. We've got these 5 tebi from Botswana. Here is a 10 tebi, also from Botswana. The year on this coin is 1989. And then a 25 tebi. Yeah, a well-used coin as well, so not worth that much. Pretty much face value in this condition, I'd say. 1999. There's also some coins from Swaziland. Now the Swaziland coins, they're not round. So they've got all these nice, interesting patterns like you see over here. I quite like that. Quite unique. So that's the Swaziland. This is a 5-cent coin. Also with just face value, but a beautiful, unique coin with a unique shape, which I quite like. And there was the 5, and here's the 50-cent piece. This is 1993. Really, this one is unfortunately well worn, but just look at that beautiful coin. It has an elephant on it. There's an elephant, a shield. This is really, really nice. And there's the obverse of the coin. There we go, obverse. And of course, and there's also a 2 emalangeni. Of course, emalangeni is the currency that's used in Swaziland. This coin needs a little bit of restoration, perhaps, to get it restored. But again, this is worth face value. But it's an interesting coin, nevertheless. And then, of course, way up north, this is a 5-cent piece from Rwanda, 2003. Also not a coin I would have expected here, but there it is. Of course, Rwanda is indeed an interesting country. I was there for my work, and one of the cleanest countries I've ever seen in my life. Okay, then lastly, we've got these few coins left. This one is in a bad shape. This is a 5-cent from Namibia. So yeah, as you can see, there's some environmental damage to this, corrosion. So this is literally just worth face value. Definitely not something that's collectible. There's a 5-cent. Here's a 10-cent piece. Also from Namibia. Oh no, this is from Zimbabwe, in fact. This is the Zimbabwean coin. Yes. Look at that beautiful tree that they've got as the motif on the reverse of the coin. This particular coin is actually quite nice if you can find it in ink with those branches. Lots of detail. So this is the Zimbabwean coin. 1989, also just face value. Then the last coin is this coin from Mozambique, 1,000 metike. I think that's how you pronounce it. This coin also fairly common, and it's not worth more than face value, I'd say. Of course, for the coins that's worth a little bit more than just the face value, that has some numismatic value, always a good idea to store it in a safe container. My favorite remains mylar flips like this. There is some controversy about the staples, but if you are careful, you won't scratch the coins. So once it's in the mylar flip and stapled, I always just flatten the back of the staple, and in that way it won't scratch the coins. If you're really scared, you can always just add a piece of sticky tape over those staples as well to further protect the coins. The big risk is, of course, when they are stored to the coins next to them, but just be careful. Okay, so to summarize, the only coins really of value, I would say, is this rather beautiful 1952 halfpenny, which was in a very, very good uncirculated condition. The 2 3-pences, which is around 30 Rand, maybe higher. Then, of course, the silver 1 Rand coin, that's a 200 Rand coin. And then a few of the other coins may be a little bit more than face value, but it's all run-of-the-mill coins, not worth particularly much. But anyway, it's always interesting to go through a collection like this. So if you get a bag of coins, go through it. And of course, one of the greatest advantages of doing this is that you learn about the currencies of other countries, which of course is all what numismatics is all about. So I hope you enjoyed this with me. Thanks for watching. Keep well, and as always, happy collecting.